Gneyasa nitya samyasi yo na dveshti na kankshati yo na dveshti na kankshati Nidvandahi mahabaho Nidvandahi mahabaho Sukham bandhat pramuchyate Sukham bandhat pramuchyate Arjun, he who neither loathes nor desires should be known as one who has ever the spirit of renunciation, for free from dualities he is released easily, O Mahabara, mightily armed, Arjun, from bondage. The bondages that Shri Krishna is talking about in this verse are those of the material world, of samsara. Shri Krishna gives us the word Nitya Samyasi in this verse. A thinker has used a very beautiful word opposite this verse, which is Nama Samyasi, which means a person. What does it mean, Nama Samyasi? It means a person who is a man of renunciation, a woman of renunciation, just by name. Nama Samyasi, person of renunciation just by name, whereas in this verse, Shri Krishna is talking about Nitya Samyasi. According to this verse, there are four main differences between a Nitya Samyasi and a Nama Samyasi, between a true person of renunciation, a spirit of renunciation, or a person or path of renunciation just by name. First of all, a Nitya Samyasi, what is the first quality it says in this verse? He does not loathe, whereas a Nama Samyasi does loathe. When a person reaches a state of renunciation, then he does not loathe anybody, nor does he have any type of fanaticism. All loathing goes away. If a person loathes another person or other thoughts, then consider that it's not a person of renunciation, and he's just a person of renunciation by name. What's the second quality? After he doesn't loathe? Yes. Second, a Nitya Samyasi does not desire anything or get attracted to anything. All our sorrows in life arise because of attractions. It is the root of our sorrows. When butterflies are flying in the air and one of these butterflies come in our hands, then as soon as it comes in our hands, then it's finished. As soon as it dies, the fun of it goes away. Then where can a person run? He runs towards the other butterflies that are flying in the sky. Therefore, our happiness is not what we already have, but in what we haven't got. Humans do not look for what they have, but keep increasing the list of things they do not have. This is attraction, and it is a negative mind. If all the teeth in our mouth were in working order, then one would not notice them. But as soon as one tooth starts hurting or comes out, then the tongue starts going there. Was there nothing there when a person had teeth? No. It's only because there was nothing that the tongue ran there. Only when a person has an illness in an organ do they realize that there's an organ there. When people walk around, do they think about the brain in their heads? No, they only realize it when their heads hurt. People do not look at what they have, but their attention goes towards what they do not have. This is where attractions arise. Until this is there, then it means our happiness is not in our hands, but it's flying around everywhere. Our happiness is far away. Because it is far away, one has to run in order to catch it in the hands. There is a struggle in getting a thing, and even when the person gets that thing, then he becomes sad because it's not fun having something in someone's hands. Then where can we get our happiness from? It only comes from one place, being free from desires. Do not run after the birds, but watch them. If you watch them steadily, then they will come and sit in your shoulder. Happiness is like a butterfly. The more you try to run after them, to catch them, the more further away they will go. The butterfly does not want to go far away. Your attraction to them and your desire to catch them tells them to go far away from you. Happiness does not want to go far away from you, but the more we run after happiness, then the more the happiness evades us. A person may say that happiness always walks 2 places in front of her, but as soon as it stands still, then the happiness will also stand still. While you're walking, then happiness will also keep walking. Become steady. By becoming steady, this does not mean that you do not make efforts. Make efforts, but do not run around for things. A great speaker says, Madhava, Madhava, Madheva Devam, Nodavan Kamanishi, Lakishmiya, Chidavanam Kal, Namasti Lakshmiya, Shavaba Mano Vidame Dandyo. Meaning, do not run after the things. So God say, the human says that he'll get money just by running around, and if money comes only by running around, then a dog runs around so much. So a dog should be wealthy by now as well. This is not a no to efforts, but to workaholicism. A person should learn to rest and to let go, but attraction is such that it does not let a person rest. What is the cause of attraction? Anyone know? What's the cause of attraction? It's a sense of incompleteness. Because of attraction, sorrows are born. A person is sad in the present and has a need for happiness, and therefore he always projects happiness in the future, and as soon as he starts projecting something, then attractions arise. Attractions give rise to further sorrows. This is because attraction led to you chasing after something, and as soon as you got it, then you get sad again. Therefore, sorrows arise from chasing happiness. It is said about, who's heard of Mahavir Swami, the founder of the Jain religion? It said about Mahavir Swami that whenever a devotee would come to him and ask him for the ultimate peace, then he would always ask them why. He asked them what he could do to them to give them peace of mind. One person say his business is not going well, and if he starts flourishing, then he may be happy. Mahavir Swami would remind that devotee about his previous lives as he had that skill. Then he would show them how much business he had in his previous lives, how successful he had been, and how much wealth he had earned, yet he had not achieved happiness. Now what would he do? Another person would say he wanted an object that gave them happiness. Mahavir Swami would show them how many nice objects they had gained in their previous lives. Another person would say he wanted a beautiful wife. Mahavir Swami would show them how many beautiful wives they had in their previous lives. Whenever a person looks at their previous lives, and once they get a vision, then they get rid of all of their desires and become free from desire. A person must be free from desires. A person who learns from previous experiences is a human being. It was Mahavir Swami's compassion that he showed people their previous lives, and you may ask for a person like this to come and show you, but what do you need to look at your previous lives? Just look at your current lives. When you look at the current life, then you've got all the necessary experiences. You figure out everything. Okay, what's the third difference on this verse? Doesn't love, free from desire, third one? After the semicolon? Yes, a Nitya Sannyasi is free from dualities, whereas a man of renunciation by name only is not free from dualities. What are the dualities? Who knows what dualities are? No? Pleasure and pain, fame and ill fame, victory and defeat, gain and loss are all dualities. A person who is stuck in these dualities and is affected by these dualities is a man of renunciation in name only, and a person who has become free from dualities is a Nitya Sannyasi. A person who has reached such a state becomes released from all bondages and is liberated. And whenever a person becomes a Karma Yogi, then feelings of yagna come by themselves to him. The more that a person develops, then the more that he wishes for material, the more his wish for material enjoyments decrease for him, and the more that the feelings of yagna increase for him. And when the feelings of yagna increase in that person, then all their attractions go away. When attractions go away, then what's the next step? All the dualities go away. When one is released from both attractions and dualities, then he has the feelings of becoming released. And during that state, she or he experiences what it's like to be liberated. One thing Western thinkers do not understand is that how a person can act without having any desires, which the Gita shows us how to do. This is how a person can be free from attractions and still perform works. This can be done, and it is possible through devotion to God. The biggest difference between Eastern and Western psychology is that Western psychology has grown through carrying experiments on people that are mentally ill, because psychological problems and identifying what their mental states are like, and the majority of people are mentally ill, by the way, whereas Eastern psychology looks at the state of people who have become liberated and creates their field of studies around this. That's the difference. The problem with Western psychology is that when you study a person who is mentally ill, then all you can think about is mental illness. Whereas if you study a person who has become liberated, then you also can become liberated. This is the same with all the Western sciences, such as medicine, where people only go to the doctor when they become ill. On the other hand, the Indian yogis show you what to do even when you are not ill. For example, the pranayam, the breathing, the asanas, which are the physical exercises, and the Surya Namaskar, the sun salutation. They tell you to be careful about what you eat and what to eat so you do not become ill. This is because they have studied the lives of people who are extremely healthy and who have become liberated. This is our study of Ayurveda. Western medicine just tells you to swallow tablets when you are ill. They have no tablets for you to swallow when you're not ill. Ayurveda tells you to reach the state where you can never become ill, and that is what it was created for. It is the same in the spiritual field as well. There are very few of them, but those rishis that reached the ultimate bliss were studied and they became our psychologists. The Gita is a psychology. It shows how a person can perform works without intentions, and this can only be done through devotion. Such a person does not loathe anyone or anything. Thinkers give a very nice example from Swami Vivekananda's life. I don't even need to ask who's heard of him, because everyone's heard of Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda became a man of renunciation, a sannyasi, and was initiated by Sri Ramakrishna Parahams. And after travelling for a while, he settled in a place of residence. As he was travelling to this place from Calcutta, on the way there was an area of prostitutes. If a person goes on a straight road, then you have to pass through that area of prostitutes. Swamiji would take a detour, meaning that he would have to travel for 2 or 3 kilometers extra, just like our example of the countryside on the M1. One day, he thought about why should he travel the extra distance. It is because of the area of prostitutes. It is because he is thinking about what will people think if a holy person like him goes to that area of prostitutes. Should he really take up that extra time for those reasons? The thought came in his mind, and he could not pluck the courage to go the shorter route. He was not able to go through that area. But then an event arose when the king gave him an invitation to his palace. Vivekananda went, and the king greeted him with nice flowers, ornaments, perfumes, and foods. The king was greeting him on his way, and therefore he also held dance and singing shows for him. For this, the king called a famous prostitute from Varanasi to sing. As soon as Vivekananda found out that this woman was there, he did not even go. He just stayed sitting in his room. He said that he would not go there because he is a sannyasi, a man of renunciation. The king said that he had called all the guests and put in a lot of hard work in order to prepare for this event. Vivekananda said that he would not go out until the event finished. It is said that the woman who had come had a strong wish to dance in front of Vivekananda. This is the very same man of renunciation who had achieved such great things not only in India but all over the world. This woman would just wait for him and would not finish her performance if he did not come. She just thought that Swamiji would come. Someone went to her and told her to finish her performance because Swamiji would not come while she was there. As soon as she found out, then she must have been so wise that she sang a song called Prabhu More Ava Guna Chitna Dhoro. In this song, she created verses of her own in the same way that singers make up some lines of their own when they're singing a song or freestyle, saying that a true philosopher's stone turns into gold anything that comes in front of it. A philosopher's stone does not look at where that metal came from, whether the metal has come from a temple or horseshoe or even from the gutters. Wherever it's come from, the philosopher's stone always turns it into gold. She sang this when she was not even worth getting a glimpse of Swamiji. Then she said again, Prabhu More Ava Guna Chitna Dharo. When Swamiji, who was sitting in his room, heard this, then the inspiration came into his mind that this was a prostitute, yet had no discrimination in her mind, whereas whether a great soul or materialistic person came in front of her, but he was a great soul and a renouncer who thought that he was a much higher level than her. Why then did he have this discrimination in his mind? Vivekananda came outside and listened to a divine song. Thereafter, Vivekananda said himself that he had become a true man of renunciation, a true sannyasi, because this was a subtle loathing towards someone, and now those feelings of loathing went away. If a person wants to be free from all bondages, then he should have such a mental state. A person who has become free from loathing and desires is fit, what does it say here? Fit to be liberated, is released easily. You should not try to push someone, nor should you try to pull them towards you. Only then can a person become steady. This is because in either pushing someone or trying to pull them towards you, you are wasting your energy. In the same way, when a person mentally tries to pull a person, object of thought towards them, then they waste their energy. Even when they try to push the person, object of thought away from them, they also waste their energy. A thing that is wrong should wither by itself, and it's only when this happens that the person gets bliss. Shri Krishna says that such a person is released. Therefore, a person does not have to cut his bondages or tie them up. They should go away by themselves. If you take a small child by the beach, then he'll get so much happiness in making a sandcastle, he gets covered in sand. But when that same child turns 10 or 12 and you take him by the beach, then do you have to tell him not to get sand all over his clothes? When he is 5 years old, then no matter what you tell him, he'll still get sand over his clothes because he had an interest in making sandcastles. But when the same child grows up, becomes more mature and has more of an understanding, then this naughtiness withers away by itself. While these bad things don't wither away by themselves, then the person cannot become released. Underline the part of this verse where it said that a person is released. There are many attempts of getting rid of bondage. If a person is living in the material world in samsara and you give him religious clothing and send him outside, then has he not become released from bondage? No, he has not become released. There's a big difference between a ripe leaf falling from a tree and a raw leaf withering from a tree. It is necessary for the tree's growth that the raw leaves fall off because they create space for the new leaves to grow. But when ripe leaves fall off, then they do not wither down but break off. And when they break off, the juice from the tree falls out and the stains are left on the ground in the same place where the ripe tree leaf fell. Shri Krishna says that when bondages are released by themselves, then a person can happily attain liberation. Okay, last verse of today, verse 4.